This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
So Liz, how old or what year was it when you bought your first house? What year?
It was in 2005.
2005. Do you know how much your first house purchase was?
It was overinflated.
It was too much. It was too much.
It was I want to say it was like 600,000. Yeah.
600. Okay.
Yeah.
First house Valor and I bought, it was $185,000, right? In good old Bakersfield. And then,
okay, that's why.
And then, but I was asking my dad this question the other day, and I was like, "How much was that house you bought in Kalinga?" And he said, and so my mom's probably listening. My mom's going to fact check us all, so wait for that update. But he said $58,500. And I'm like, okay, wow, that's not as much as homes are going. That house is worth today. What was your income though, Dad? Like, what was your annual income? And he said, probably around $18,000. Like, okay, so $18,000, you bought a $58,000 house. Let's add some zeros on that. Let's say you were making $180,000, and the house is worth $580,000. Okay, that makes more sense. But then I was like, wait, Pops, didn't Mom start working around then? And he's like, yeah, she got a job. And I was actually irritated because she was making more money than me, even though I've been working longer because they were both teachers. I'm like, how much was Mama making? And he said, about $19,000. Okay, so between the two of you, you guys were making around $37,000 a year, and you bought a house worth $58,000, right? $58,500.
What year was this?
1984, I believe. And so, again, my mom will fact check us all on this, but if you add some zeros, just to put it in context, $580,000 house with a household income of $370,000. I don't know very many people with that type of an income buying a $580,000 house in Roseville. And so the amount of money people were generating versus the cost of a home was very different, even with a 15% interest rate, than it is today. But that's why a lot of grandparents are now saying, hey, you know what, let me help out my kids. Let me help out my grandkids and buy a house. And they're using a reverse to do that.
Yeah, so we've seen this happen a couple of times where they say, you know what, kids want to buy a house, grandkids want to buy a house. Instead of creating some other kind of monthly obligation, let's do a reverse mortgage because we're going to utilize those funds and we're going to gift each grandkid $20,000 for closing costs. Sometimes I've seen it as high up as $50,000.
Come on, Grandpa, you listening to this?
We're passing down your inheritance while we're still here so we can enjoy it with you, watch what you do with it. Yeah. And it doesn't create that monthly obligation of the grandparents having to have a monthly payment for a loan that they're doing.
There's no strain.
No, there isn't. And they get to enjoy life with their kids, with their grandkids, before they're gone. So we have seen those situations happen more than once. And it's hard right now. I can't imagine being a millennial and, working on TikTok and trying to buy a house because I don't know that's working in this day and age.
Yeah, if you qualify for reverse, you're probably not on OnlyFans.
So speaking of that, what are there age requirements for a reverse mortgage?
So yes, traditional reverse mortgage, which is the one that's often used the most, at least one person that's going to be on the loan has to be 62 years old. Now, if they have a spouse, they can be younger than. But then there are programs that came on the market, God, I'd say started coming to the market 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they keep coming on the market. Those go down to age 55. So
rather than 62, it could go down to 55?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's programs, and those are the non-FHA reverse mortgages. So we consider those like the conventional reverse mortgages that are out in the industry now. So there's a lot of different reverse mortgages that you can choose from.
So what the younger you get,
the less money you get.
The less money you get. Is there a higher, I want to say interest rate, but
yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because you can't have your cake and eat it too. I mean, they're not going to be here, we're going to give you this much money. You're this young. Your life expectancy is 45 years old. We're going to charge you a low interest rate. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't be 35 and get in the reverse. So.
Well, if you're Hugh Hefner.
There you go.
and you marry one of your bunnies.
There's options.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
LTV is going to be really low. Yeah.
But another thing that we were talking about is credit card debt is at an all-time high. And a lot of people are like they're just it feels like they've been painted into a corner. They're running out of options because they may have a mortgage rate that's in the high 2s, low 3s.
Yeah.
And they don't want to give that up, but
Yeah.
they're like, man, if I refinance, I can pay down my credit card debt, and that would really help me out.
Yeah.
But there's an answer for that with reverse mortgages.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I call it the reverse mortgage for the times. So it's a reverse mortgage second. So a lot of people are doing HELOCs right now. You talk to any loan
Lender.
officer that works at a bank.
JJ Maxx talking about them all the time. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I mean, literally, that's what people are looking for these days because, like you said, it's not just seniors with all-time credit card debt. It's the nation as a whole. So I have an example where I have a client. He lives in Palm Springs, and he went to go get traditional loan options from a traditional loan officer. And after the loan officer spoke to him and ran some numbers on a traditional finance to get cash out to pay off those credit cards, he said, you know what, I'm going to refer you to Liz, talk to her, she's got some options, and then come back to me and let me know what you think. You can decide whatever you want to do. So after having a conversation about his finances and what his overall financial goals were, I approached him with this option of the reverse mortgage second. So his concern was losing that low interest rate. It was under 3%.
Wow.
Right?
It's like free money at that point.
And that's how we all feel, I think. I'm starting to see houses pop up, so maybe not more on the market. But his payment was $1,200.
Wow.
And he had a really low first mortgage balance. And so he liked the idea of keeping that first mortgage in place. He didn't have to touch that low interest rate, and his payment would remain the same, $1,200. We proceeded with the reverse mortgage. So we got to get a full appraisal. Appraisal came back, and by the way, this is on a condo.
In Palm Springs, or okay,
you're gonna die so the value of that condo came back at $718,000.
Well, there you go.
I was like, what? Yeah, this is Palm Springs. So $718,000. Available funds from the reverse mortgage second was $143,000. Okay.
Which, just so we're clear, he does not have to make a payment on that. That's
Correct.
not like a monthly
Yeah,
thing.
it's not like a HELOC where you have to make a payment. On a reverse mortgage second, you do not have to make a payment. Okay.
Wow. So he's getting $143,000, and there's no taxes on this, right? Because it's
Correct.
technically debt.
Proceeds. It's loan proceeds.
Yep.
So his total monthly outgoing debt payment for credit cards, $2,600
a month.
a month.
Man.
Okay. So his total payoffs to eliminate that monthly credit card debt was, and we have to pay off the solar because it's a lien on the property. So he's fine with that because it's another $300 payment that he's making. So his total payoffs for all of that debt, getting rid of all that debt, $79,000.
Nice.
Okay. This leaves him with an additional $55K.
Just sitting in a bank account for him to use whatever.
Whenever he wants. And please tell me that you're ripping up those credit cards.
Yes, please don't. Hey, look, I got all this cash. Give me some more credit card.
Yeah. And so what I told, he was like, whoa, wait, what? You can do what? So he's like, I have a $2,600 monthly cash flow swing to my benefit.
Well, that's $2,600 in credit card debt. You add the $300 in solar. That's almost $3,000 a month that he's saving.
The $2,600 included the solar.
Oh, okay, included that. Okay,
include the solar. So he's got $2,600 cash flow because we're getting rid of all that debt, and he's got $55,000 sitting in the bank. And this is what I told him that you could do later. Okay, I said if we see the market recover a little bit, where maybe we start seeing appreciation again, and we see rates come down in the future, you can combine that reverse mortgage second and your first mortgage into a traditional reverse mortgage and get rid of the $1,200 a month
that he's paying.
Hopefully he gets rid of those credit cards and he won't need to do that.
Yeah.
But they don't have any heirs. So they're like, they're in a place where they're like, that's a really good idea if we need to do it in the future and get rid of that $1,200 a month payment on top of what we've already saved.
Wow. And so I mean, just in year one, if it's $2,600, he's saving, what is that? Nearly $30,000 just year one, just in credit card payments.
Yes.
Wow. As long as he doesn't get more credit card debt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and you know, we talked about this in the past. Is what else can you use a reverse mortgage second for? We talked about purchasing a second home or an investment property, adding an ADU on your property.
Oh, there you go. ADU, an income generator, or to have.
Exactly. And it raises the value of your property.
Yeah.
Passing on generational wealth, like I mentioned before. You know, I just said paying off high interest debt.
Monthly income. You can generate monthly income with it,
No,
right?
not on that one, because the second doesn't offer that one.
Well, not on the second, but just
correct.
another thing you can use a reverse for is like, hey, I need some more money. There's too much month there's not enough money at the end of the month.
Correct.
Well, maybe, you know, get a reverse mortgage. Just you're not taking a big lump sum, but you're just getting little bite-sized chunks every month to help you with whatever.
Yeah. Supplementing a loss from a spouse, because you lose one Social Security when somebody passes. So then they're only left with one source of income. You know, so being able to supplement your income for that loss of Social Security from the spouse is a big one. Let's not get started about high fire insurance.
Oh, my goodness. You are 100% right. Yes, there are so many people who bought houses. They thought they were going to die there. They loved the home. Home fire insurance was an afterthought, and now it is crippling them.
It is. I see
That is a really good point.
Yeah.
So, Liz, what's the best way for somebody to reach out to you? If they're like, oh my gosh, I love Liz. She's got all these great options.
Yes.
I'd like to learn more.
Yes. Best way to reach out to me is via my phone, and it's 916-223-8869. Or you can also email me at liz.andersen. Andersen is spelled Andersen at A as in Apple, P as in Paul, mortgage.com.
And if you are like, hey, that was a lot of letters, I don't remember the numbers, I can't, I'm driving, I'm not going to remember all this, just go to madeformorerealty.com, and we will get you connected with Liz. Liz, thank you so much for being on the show today. It was a pleasure as always.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's an honor.
So there's a lot of great summer movies out in the theaters, and my kids want to see pretty much every single one of them, but I am a conservative. I am a fiscally conservative, I would say frugal person. So you know what I do? Before we go out into the theaters, I go to Rotten Tomatoes and I check the reviews. I want to make sure that if I'm going to spend all this money on a movie, that it's going to be something I'm going to enjoy. So I check the reviews. And that's what we recommend you do when it comes to hiring or someone to help you sell your home or purchase a home. Go check the reviews. For instance, our friend Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty, he has over 1,000 5-star Google reviews, more than anyone else in our area. So if you're curious about who you're going to trust, you know, do the research, do your investigation, go find out, go read some of these reviews about Johnny Jennings and the amazing job that he and his team do in selling your home with Made for More Realty. In fact, listen to this. They have this program where they're going to offer you at least three cash offers on your home in as-is condition. No showings, no staging, no costly home repairs. 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. Just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.